Hi everybody, it's Victoria. Today I have a special video for you. I'm going over 41 sales that I had in July and August for over $40. So each item I made gross $40 and up. So if that sounds interesting, be sure to stick around and watch this video as I go through those sales with you. Welcome back to our channel. If you're new, we're Super Geeked. We celebrate everything we get super geeked about. You'll see a lot of videos on our channel from me about reselling because I am a full-time online reseller. I sell clothing and some hard goods on websites like Poshmark, eBay, Etsy, and Mercari. So I buy all kinds of stuff at estate sales, garage sales, thrift stores, buy-sell trade stores, consignment stores, retail stores, anywhere you can buy clothing and sometimes hard goods. I will purchase them and then I'll flip them online for a profit. It affords me the opportunity to stay home, to be a stay-at-home mom with my children, to make my own hours. My husband's a first responder, so he's gone overnight for shifts, and so this has just been great for me. It's been a way for me to be able to stay home, be home for my children, and make an active income. It is a lot of hard work if you're new to reselling, but hopefully videos like this can help you to really start sourcing good items. The items I'm going to show you in this video and we're going to talk about were sales from July and August of 2020 that I had that sold for at least the $40 price point. So $40 and above, and I'm going to just talk about the sales briefly because I've got 41 of them to go over with you. The first item I'm going to talk about that I sold in July was a St. John knit cardigan. It was a wrap cardigan, so it didn't have like a closure. I am going to pop a picture up over here of each item so you can see what it looks like. The St. John sweater sold for $100. I had got it in a thread-up DIY designer box, so I paid about $10 for the item and it sold for $100. So that was definitely a good profit margin. Most St. John, you're going to have that, especially with the knits like that, you'll have a good profit margin. So the next item is a ModCloth item. If you're new to my channel, I sell a lot of ModCloth. I'm very into vintage and vintage inspired personally, so I enjoy picking up ModCloth. I source a lot of new with tags ModCloth from a liquidation company here in Mississippi, and so my closet and my stores all are stocked with ModCloth. So this was a really cute skirt from ModCloth. It was navy blue and it had rainbows and sparrows on it embroidered and was a plus size, so that was good. It did sell for $65 and I had picked it up at the liquidation company for, I want to say, between $12 and $15. I did pay up for this item. I had considered keeping it for myself, but just didn't like it. I don't like a lot of synthetic fabric, so it just didn't work for me. So I ended up selling it for $65 and made a nice profit. ModCloth is definitely a brand I would recommend picking up. Whether it's the older style ModCloth, new stuff, it sells. And this is an example. This is another ModCloth dress that I picked up last year. It is a watercolor cactus dress, super cute, and it sold for $50 on Poshmark. Another ModCloth piece was this hot air balloon dress. ModCloth does really well with novelty prints. I have a bunch in my collection, but I actually have this dress specifically in my collection, and it's really cute. And so I was happy to see it go. It sold for $50, and this one I believe I picked up for $1 or $2 from the liquidation company. So it was new with tags. The next item to sell for over $40 actually sold for $85. It's an Elijah J chiffon maxi dress with a ribbon tie belt. And I picked this up one day when I was in Mobile. I was sourcing with my mother and I paid about $5 for it. So that's definitely a good profit. I have really good success with Elijah J. There's some dresses that sit for a little bit, but then some of them sell super fast. So Anytime I see a Liza J, unless it's not in great condition or is super dated, I pick it up. They retail for a lot, but they also resell for a lot. And I would definitely pick it up again. The next item that sold for over $40 was this Madewell cropped sweater cardigan, buttoned in the front. It has big bell sleeves. It's an olive green color. I picked this up at the yellow tag sale at Marshall's in January, and it's definitely sat for a long time, 6 or so months. But it finally did sell for $45. I would have hoped to get a little bit more. Some of the comps were closer to $80, but it sat for a long time. So I was happy to get the $45. I had paid around $12 for the sweater, and so that was great. I do have one more of a different size of this Madewell sweater in my Poshmark closet and on my other stores. So if you're interested, check it out. Okay, this sweater was really cool. I found 2 of these sweaters one day at the thrift store. They were in the men's section, and this one was a baby blue, and it had Windsor Castle knitted into it. It has scalloped hem and scalloped sleeves, like the wrist on the sleeves was scalloped. And it said Windsor Castle, it actually said it. And then even the sleeves had little icons of castles all over knitted into it. Super cute. It was double-sided, and it sold for $40. I paid $5 for it, so that was a nice flip. Okay, next over $40 item was a sale for $100. Not a big surprise here. These were some Tory Burch wedges. I got these in my shoebox collaboration that I did with my girls, Alicia over at Murrayed Life, Donna at Resell Tips and Tails, and Gorgeous, my girl Jessie. So we did a 4-way shoebox unboxing, and I was really happy when I opened the box and these wedges were on top. They made my money back for my box, so everything else that is selling from that box is pure profit. Another item that came from a ThredUp box were these Burberry flats. They weren't in the best condition, but I did clean them up as best as I could. They were just little ballet flats. They did have the Nova check in the interior of the shoe, but not on the exterior. So when you're wearing them, you can't even tell they're Burberry. So they sold for $40. I was totally happy with that. The cost of goods on those DIY designer boxes is around $10, so that was totally fine with me. So after the Burberry flats, I have a funny story about this next item. This was a sundry dress. It was just a white cotton like jersey knit dress, had elastic waistband, sleeveless. It had stars all over it, so it was really cute, but I really questioned buying just like a plain cotton dress. I haven't sold a lot of sundry, so I was like, and I passed on it actually twice at the thrift store. And then the third time I saw it, I thought, you know what? I'm just going to check comps on this dress. It is super cute. I guess I was just in the mood that day to buy something different. And I'm so glad I did, because it actually was half off. So I only paid like $3 for this dress, and it sold for $65. So moral of the story, if you see sundry, be sure to check comps, because it may be a gem and you may be passing up a gold mine. So the next item on this list is an item that is vintage. It is a really cool pink long sleeve jumpsuit, like a flight suit, a mechanic's outfit, very 1980s but 1940s inspired. It was bright magenta pink, super cute, and it sold so fast. I've sold several of these jumpsuits in black and olive. Anytime I see this type of jumpsuit, they're really popular right now with bloggers, and so I pick them up, especially the vintage ones. So, and then I couldn't pass up this pink. Pink is my favorite color, so I was like, I got to get this dude. So it sold for $45, and I paid around $6 for this item, so that was a nice profit for me. The next ModCloth piece that I sold was from a brand called Frock and Frills. I love this brand, and this dress was stunning. It was navy blue. It had sheer flutter sleeves. It had beading and embroidery all over the bodice. It was stunning. It was chiffon. It was flowy. It was just absolutely beautiful. I mean, just a beautiful dress. and it didn't end up selling for $125, and I had only bought it for $12. So at that liquidation company here in Mississippi. So that was a nice profit. And as you can see from the photo, it is just absolutely beautiful. Next over $40 sale was a $65 sale. It was a new to me brand. It was Hoka running shoes. Now that I've sold some, I've actually heard some of the resellers talk about this brand. Apparently they're a specialty running shoe brand. They're made for people who need more support, like arch support, and they're fairly expensive retail. So I was actually gifted these from my godmother, and so I didn't pay anything for these, and they sold for $65, and they were in excellent condition. So I was really excited about that. So that was a definite profit. But even if I saw Hoka out in the thrift stores, I would definitely pick them up if they were in good condition. Another item that sold for over $40 was this Free People Movement leggings. They had cute little straps at the bottom that crisscross, that gave it a little added interest. They were in a really pretty sage green color. And this item didn't cost me any money since it was gifted to me. So I sold them for $44, and I would definitely pick up Free People Movement again. It's got a lot of interest on Poshmark. You know, Free People is kind of hit or miss sometimes, but some items can sell for over $40. So I definitely would pick up the Free People Movement again because of the interest that I had on that item. Okay, next item over $40 were these Lafayette 148 sandals. They had an acrylic large chain detail on the front of them. They were thong sandals. They were pre-owned. I bought them at the thrift store for $4, and they sold for $40. They sat for a little bit. Lafayette 148 is one of those brands that you can command over $40 on most of their items, but they do sit. So if you find Lafayette 148, be careful about what you're purchasing, that it's on trend, and know that it sometimes will sit there for sometimes 3 or 4 months before it sells. But anyway, this is a good flip. I really liked these sandals. They were really cute. They come in a bunch of different colors. This one was more of a taupe color, but my buyer gave me 5 stars, so I guess they really liked them too. Another liquidation purchase that I made right before quarantine started, my liquidation company here in Mississippi got in a bunch of department store clothing, and there was a lot of Free People, a lot of interesting Free People pieces, not just run-of-the-mill. And one of them was this denim dress. It was really cute, and it was the only one that they had, so I swooped it up. It was new with tags. The only thing is it had a slight mildewy smell. So a tip to getting mildew out, you can actually put the garment in your freezer and let it stay in there overnight, and it will eliminate that mildew smell. I've done it tons of times, works great. I highly recommend trying that before you try to do anything else, especially on a new with tags item that you don't want to launder, that you might just steam, but the steaming's not going to take that smell out. So try the freezer. So this dress I paid around $10 for, and I sold it for $75. It was darling, really heavyweight. It's going to be great for the cooler months. So I was happy to sell that. Another item that I purchased for myself was this ModCloth velvet blazer. I got one in black and one in maroon. They were new with tags from the liquidation company, but they were just too big for me. I got them in a larger size, and they just looked weird, so I decided I would just go ahead and sell them. I do that a lot. I buy a lot of the ModCloth stuff from liquidation for myself, end up not liking it, or it fits me weird, and so I just end up selling it. So I sold this for $40. I did pay $15 for it, so it wasn't a huge profit, but I paid up because I had purchased it for myself. So I was happy to make any profit on it. That's totally fine, and the buyer really liked it because I got 5 stars and a nice little love note. Another ModCloth, big surprise, but this is just a black skirt. It had buttons down the front with a brown belt. It was plus size. Again, I bought this for myself, but I didn't like the way it looked on me, so I did end up selling it, and I sold it for $45. I had only paid, I think, $8 for this item, so that was a nice profit for me. So this dress was from a brand called Yumi. It was another ModCloth dress, another liquidation purchase. I only paid $2 for this dress, and it was darling. It had little bees all over it. It was so cute. And then it had crisscross straps in the back. I sold it for $50. So that was definitely good profit. Again, like I said, pick up ModCloth if you see it, because even the older brands or the brands that they don't carry all the time that maybe aren't as well known will still sell for over the $40 or $50 price mark. Okay, then I have this Diane von Furstenberg dress. This was a Julian 2 silk wrap dress, and I got it at one of the ThredUp DIY designer boxes. So it was about $10 for the dress. I sold it for $50. Most of the Diane von Furstenberg silk wrap dresses will sell at least for $50, upwards to $100. It depends on the print. This was a little bit of a more subtle print, a little bit of an older print. Some of her bolder prints will sell for the higher price point, but I was really happy because I still made a significant profit on this item from that ThredUp designer box. I really recommend the ThredUp DIY designer boxes. I just unboxed my last one with my girlfriends, Alicia over at Murray Life, Jessie over at Gorgeous, and my friend Bob at Bob Buys. We did it on Jessie's channel, so if you haven't already, head over to Gorgeous. I'll link her below, and you can check out that live that we did unboxing. It was a lot of fun. I really love those girls, and we had a great time. But that DIY designer box, you can see from all 4 of our boxes, it is something I would definitely recommend. If you watch my New Orleans sourcing trip video with Alicia from Murray Life, then you know one of the things that I really wanted to find on our last trip was some good American jeans. I don't find them here in Mississippi, so I was really manifesting trying to find some good American jeans, and we went to one of our thrift stores where we find the best brands, and I was able to find a pair, so I was really excited. And the average cost of goods on that shopping trip was around $10 for me. I sold these for $75. They were a plus size 16, so excellent size, excellent brand, good American sells like hotcakes and for a nice profit. And so I was really, really excited about that sale and that find, and I hope to find some more good American in the future. Talk about precious. This dress from ModCloth, one of the brands that they carry, the brand is called Campagna Fantastica. This brand is so cute. I love their prints. I have some of their pieces in my collection. This was an adorable baby doll dress. I had not even seen this on ModCloth, or I might have got one for myself, but it had a tropical print all over it. It had these bubble sleeves. It was a mini dress. You could definitely wear it as a mini dress or wear it with leggings. So cute. And so that dress sold for $40. I had paid $2 for it, and so great profit. Not surprised that another ModCloth dress sold for over $40. I hope you don't get sick of me talking about ModCloth, but like I said, I do sell a lot of it, and I sell a lot of the dresses. This was another novelty print ModCloth dress. It is their traditional inspired taste dress. I believe the inspired taste silhouette was the first dress that ModCloth made under the ModCloth brand, because ModCloth, if you don't know, started by selling other brands. So they sold vintage. She was a reseller, but also importing brands from other countries, a lot from the UK, but from other countries too, of these fun like dresses that we didn't necessarily get over here. And then ModCloth started their own label. And so this dress, I believe the inspired taste dress, was the first ModCloth silhouette. So this dress is still made, but they make it in all different kinds of prints. And this one was an adorable canary yellow with little rainbows all over it. It was so cute. One of their most popular dresses, so no surprise it sold for $75. I do have this dress in several other sizes, still in my closet in my stores. And I only paid $1 for these dresses, so that's a nice big profit for me. Again, I would definitely recommend ModCloth. And here's why. Here's another one. This was a little triangle dress in a baby blue with some ruffles and a V-back. It was in a plus size 1X, and it sold for $45. And then here's the ModCloth skirt. It was sort of a Liberty of, if you know what Liberty of London is, it was a very Liberty of London inspired print. In fact, when I saw it, I thought maybe it was Liberty of London, but it was just an A-line button front skirt. Sold this one for $40, and I had paid $5 for it. Okay, a brand that I had not sold yet is Teva. So I knew about Teva. I had other friends that had picked up Teva, but I went to Hattiesburg to go see Oliver. We were filming some videos while I was in town, and I stopped by the Goodwill there. They only have one Goodwill in the town he lives in. It's a small town, but it's a college town. So you can usually find some trendy stuff because there's a lot of college kids, but they had just put out some brand new Tevas, never worn, new without tags or box, but they were in excellent condition and they were all around the $4 mark. So I was like, heck yeah. The first ones to sell were an all suede braided Teva, and they sold for $44. And then I went on to sell another pair that were snakeskin. Those both sold within a week of me listing, both for over $40. So I would definitely pick up Teva again if you find it in good condition. Okay, so then I had this rain jacket. It was a Victoria's Secret pink rain jacket. It was given to me when I got that big Lululemon haul from one of my neighbors, so it was free. And when I looked it up, it seemed to be a very popular style of the rain jacket. And so I listed it, sat on it for a couple months, and then finally the right buyer came along. I sold it for $42. So again, my cost of goods was $0. So after Poshmark fees, I made a nice profit on that jacket. Okay, another over $40 sale. Hey, that's what this video is, right? So I had not picked up Theory before. I had not found Theory. And then I went on another sourcing trip. I do that a lot. And I was in Slidell, Louisiana. It's between where I live and New Orleans. And I found these pink Theory dress pants. They were flannel and they were in great condition. I was able to sell them for $55 and I had only paid $5 for these pants. Okay, we have another ModCloth skirt. So this skirt I've sold before in other sizes and I still have some left. This one in particular sold for $40. Some of them have sold for $35 and some of them have sold for $55. So it just depends on the buyer and the size. But this one sold for $40. Again, even if you sold them for $35, I would recommend picking up ModCloth if you can find it for a good price, because you're going to make a profit. I mean, at least I have. That's been my experience. And I've sold a lot of ModCloth. Here's another example of the Eliza J. I actually purchased this from a seller on Poshmark. I paid around $12 for the dress. If you take into account that my state collects sales tax and then also shipping, it ended up being about $12 for this item, but I did flip it for $85. Again, the Eliza J is great. This was an Eliza J that was carried at ModCloth, so that's an even better cherry on the top. And it was new with tags and had the belt, which is sometimes missing from Eliza J dresses. Oh, and a tip. Even if you see an Eliza J dress with no belt, because a lot of their dresses do have belts, whether it's a ribbon belt or a regular belt, I would still pick it up. I sell them all the time, even with the belts missing, and even for a great profit. So just because the belt's missing, don't take that as you need to pass it up. So $12 cost of goods, sold it for $85. I would buy it again all day. This next item you're going to see in a video that I'm working on. It was my trip to Pensacola with my husband. We took a little weekend getaway in July, and I did a haul at the end of it showing what I did pick up while we were on this trip. This was one of those dresses. This was a pinup couture dress. It was in a beautiful lime green. It was just stunning. And so I was really excited to find it. It sold to a buyer. We went back and forth on the price a little bit, but we ended up settling on $70. I had paid under $6 for this dress. So again, another good profit. Pinup Couture does really well. Their garments are high quality, and so I would definitely recommend picking them up. Okay, next we have this Lily Pulitzer. These were a pair of hot pink silk pants. I picked these up in Mobile on a thrifting trip. My friend Alexis, Hanger Hunter on Poshmark and Instagram, she lives in Mobile. She said she actually passed up these pants because she thought they had a stain on them. But her loss, my gain. I picked them up. They sold for $75 and I paid around $4 for them. So that was a nice little flip. Thanks, Alexis. Okay, we have another ModCloth. This sub-brand was BB Dakota. I'm sure you've heard of BB Dakota. BB Dakota is sold other places too, but this was a very cute, like 70s inspired dress. It had a black background, a high neckline, huge bell sleeves, and was a mini dress. Could have been right out of the pages of a 70s magazine. I sold it for $45 and I had paid $1 for this dress, so definitely a nice profit on that one. And then another ModCloth, this sub brand is called Chi Chi London. This was new with tags. I have a ton of this dress in a bunch of different colors. This was a burgundy one. I only had this one in one size. I actually bought it last year. I bought some of them for $20 and some of them for $10 a piece when my liquidation company very first started getting ModCloth. These dresses do sit because they're special occasion dresses. Totally fine with me. I have the room to store them. Not a big deal. I knew I had to wait for the right buyer. So this one was a size 12, and like I said, it was the only one in this colorway that I had, and I sold it for $100. I had paid $20 for it, so again, a nice profit margin for me. Okay, another dress that's vintage inspired. This is Hell Bunny. This is a brand that's carried by ModCloth, but it's also carried by other vintage inspired brands. They're from the UK. They have a lot of fun novelty prints. This was an older dress, so it definitely sat. I actually thrifted this dress, so I paid under $6 for it, but it sat for almost a year. So I don't know that I would pick this dress up again. This is probably one of the only dresses, but if I really think about it, I mean, I still sold it for $40 and I only paid under $6. So that's fine with me. I mean, I'm happy with the sale. So yeah, I'd probably still pick it up again. Next brand that I really like to sell is Vionic. These booties were so cute. If they had been my size, I totally would have kept them. Of course, I say that a lot, but I mean, that's what happens to us resellers, right? We find such cool stuff and we kind of wish it was in our size. And even if it is in our size, we have to force ourselves to list it and not keep it. Well, this was the Vionic Georgia booty, and they were all leather. I picked them up in that trip for Mother's Day to Mobile. I believe the cost of goods in that store was about $7. They did sell for $45, so I made a good profit on those, and I would definitely pick up Vionic again. Okay, then I sold another type of sandal that is similar to the Tevas that I picked up are Chacos. I had never picked up Chacos before. I found these at a thrift store for $4.99. So I snagged them. They were in like new condition, and I sold them for $52. So I would definitely pick up Chacos again in good condition. Okay, these are some shoes. Not sure, again, if I would pick them up. They were some Born crisscross sandals. They were all leather. They had leather wrapped wedge heels. They were all leather uppers, but they did sit for a while. I want to say maybe 8 months. I did end up selling them for $40, and I had paid under $5 for them. So that was still good profit, but they did sit for a very long time. And sometimes with those items, you run the risk of, are they ever going to sell? But I'm glad I held out because I did find a buyer that was willing to pay $40, so that's great. Okay, last two sales over the $40 mark. The first one was this Free People dress. I bought this Free People dress at the liquidation company when I was sourcing some ModCloth. They happened to have a couple of Free People pieces. This dress was lovely. I mean, absolutely beautiful. I almost bought a second one, but the second one I noticed when I was checking out had some damage, so I didn't get it. So this dress was called the Snow Angel. It had billowy sleeves, and it had some ruffling at the bottom, layered ruffles at the bottom. I just thought it was really cute, and so I picked it up. I spent about $10 on it, and it sold for $64. It did sit a little bit longer than I would have liked it to, but we know Free People's been sort of doing that lately. Free People's hit or miss, and so I was really happy to see that really good profit margin on that dress because it was really cute. And the last item were these Mark Fisher espadrille sandals. They were leather uppers with a perforated leather and then an ankle strap. They were darling. They were like new. I don't think they had ever been worn, but wasn't positive, so I just put, you know, excellent condition, and I purchased them at a thrift store for $5. I luckily hit the thrift store the day before a huge half off sale and racked up on shoes. I mean, I got so many amazing pairs of shoes that day. And so this was one of those pairs of shoes. They sold for $40. So was really happy about that. The buyer asked me to ship them right away because she needed them for something, and she left me a nice little love note and gave me 5 stars. So I was really happy about that sale. So those were 41 sales in July and August that sold for over $40 gross. And I hope you got something out of this video. I like to watch this type of video to see what is selling for other people for a higher price point, because I like to list items in my store that are going to give me a higher return on my money. I feel like less is more. I'm having to do less work, listing less items, but that bring in a higher price point. They might sit, and that's okay, but that's my business model. And so I'm very interested in watching these videos to see what other people are selling for higher price points and what they're able to get for their items. And I hope this was helpful for you too. If you're new to our channel, I would hope that you would want to stick around and subscribe. We put out lots of content, not just reselling. If you're just interested in the reselling, we do have a playlist for that, but our channel is about diversity and celebrating the uniqueness in every one of us, all the things that make us special, all the things that make us excited and we're passionate about, and just to celebrate and share all of that with each other. So thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to give me a thumbs up on your way out, and I'll see you next time. Bye.